Hello, welcome back to Shut Up and Watch the Movie, your favorite movie podcast, with two co-hosts that joke around a little bit as well.
The only podcast that does it like that.
Exactly. I'm your host, Tyson.
And I'm Kristina.
And, every week we make each other watch a movie. And, sometimes we agree and sometimes we disagree. Much about everything in life,
Sure.
Everything in life is a series of agreements or disagreements.
When you put it like that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, this week, for a little spooky episode, I don't
even understand because this isn't
It's
even
a horror movie.
Yeah, but it's not like, I thought for Halloween, for spooky, it should be like, I don't know, like the Poltergeist or something.
No.
This was just like genuinely stressful.
Well, I mean, okay, so I made Kristina watch Climax, which we'll get into here in a second, but I thought, maybe because I'm a horror movie, like, fanatic, my bar for, like, what's actually, like, scary to me is a different...
I mean, I guess it was
it's
scary
not like,
in a way.
It's not scary like, boo! It's scary like...
Yeah.
Ah.
Like, I was like, I don't like what's going on here, but...
Exactly. But, I mean, you go.
I was just going to say before we get into that.
Oh, yeah. We do have a little segment here on the show.
We do.
Tiny little movie corner.
Teeny tiny movie corner.
Teeny tiny movie corner.
Teeny tiny movie corner.
I forget the name.
I think we
episode.
say it differently every single episode. We're like the teeny teeny whiny little bitty whiny.
I used to say
bitty,
that,
bitty.
and then I realized it was time to grow up, and so I started saying tiny movie corner.
So you grew up and you showed me a movie about drugs and alcohol and
exactly.
other stuff.
It's a little bit more than that.
There's a lot going on in that.
But
the teeny tiny movie corner.
Yeah, since I subjected you to the movie, I'll let you give your first little movie recommendation or talk about.
Well, we didn't say what the teeny tiny movie corner is.
Oh yeah, I guess we do have to establish.
It's a little opportunity for us to share a different movie that we watched in the past week.
Yeah, the past week
we liked and we want to recommend just to prove that we have a little bit of taste outside what we normally show the podcast to.
Exactly. In my case, usually it's this week it's in line with what I usually suggest.
I feel like this week I'm actually pretty in line too, but sometimes I have some surprise ones. This week I went and saw We Live in Time.
Oh yeah,
the new Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh movie. I really liked it. I didn't think it was like anything like crazy groundbreaking or anything, but I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was.
What's it about?
It's basically just about like this relationship between this couple. And believe it or not, it's called We Live in Time, and it's not chronological.
Oh, it's not chronological?
Go to different points in time.
Oh,
no, I would
say
there's kind of 3 main plots that you kind of follow. The first is like when they meet. The second is when she's giving birth. And the third is her cancer diagnosis, which is not a major spoiler.
No. I think that's part of the
trailer. It's like in it, and it happens in the first like 5 minutes.
Isn't that like the crux of their relationship is because they meet by her hitting him with his car, and so it's like in a way it's the reverse of like taking care of the other person.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was like the conceit of the movie.
I don't know if that's...
Either way, I knew she got cancer.
But yeah, it's in the trailer and it happens. It literally like first 5 minutes. Like I was sitting there, I was like, oh God, like I thought we would ease into the cancer stuff. Jesus.
Did it? But did it make you cry?
It did. It did make me cry. I do want to say though, I don't think it was like overly sappy, and I think it very easily could have been, and that's almost kind of what I was expecting.
I've heard it is overly sappy.
I didn't think I thought it was like surprisingly joyful, honestly.
Oh, that's nice.
But it is, I mean, it's sappy enough to make me cry.
They get to both be British for a change.
Yes, and they are British, and actually I saw
Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. Oh yeah?
He's so dreamy even in real life. Oh
okay, all right.
But they're also I don't want to say too much about it, but there is the birth scene that happens in the movie is like genuinely unlike any other birth scene I've seen. Like that's probably the best part of the movie. What do you mean? So good.
Wait, you can't just like. What do you mean by that?
It's very well done. It's beautiful and it's funny and it's emotional and
I've seen a lot of. Never mind. I was gonna make a joke that I was like, I've seen a lot of birthing videos, but I realized that was a terrible joke.
Sounds a little weird.
It is weird, so I decided not to say the joke, but I had to announce what it was.
But now you shared. Okay, sure, Tyson.
I have the reaction to like movies like that, which look like they're gonna make me bawl. In the same way, I think people are like who don't like horror movies are like, why would I want to be scared? It's like, why do I want to be?
Why would you want to cry?
Yeah, why do I want to have like a gut?
I did cry a little bit.
Wrenching experience.
It was a bit gut wrenching. It kind of gives me the vibe of sad. I don't think you've seen this. Have you seen About Time?
No,
honestly, that's on my possible list.
They got
of movies
similar
to
looking
show you.
posters.
Similar vibes. Similar vibes. Both great movies.
Cool.
I like that one a little more. But
Okay, that's fine.
that's fine. All right.
I've seen neither, so I can't. All right. So in contrast to that, I went and I saw Terrifier 3.
Oh, God.
Which, okay. So the deal with these movies are they feature like a sadistic clown, and he pretty much just like mutilates people for most of the runtime. And it's almost kind of like it's the draw for it is like, what are they gonna do this time? And I don't know if I can keep going to them. I'm gonna be so real.
You'd rather watch that than Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh fall in love? I don't.
Because here's the thing. This isn't gonna make me cry. That's gonna make me cry.
Honestly, that might make me cry.
I go and I appreciate the filmmaking and the special effects artistry, maybe.
I will say, I low-key don't know barely anything about the Terrifier movies.
I thought about, when we first conceptualized this podcast, I was like, oh, that'll be a great one. And then I was like, actually, I can't do that.
Yeah, it's too much.
No, I don't think it's like...
It's respecting my boundaries.
I don't think there's anything that you would find too egregious, but I just think it's just not a great experience. They are kind of in poor taste, but it's fun. It's, okay, funny enough, I actually thought this was the best one.
Okay. Well, I'm saying I really didn't know anything about these movies. I didn't know if they were big or not, but Terrifier 3 did good in the box office.
Terrifier 2 was made for like $200,000 or $300,000, made like $15 million.
Wow.
And then this one was made for like $2 million, and it's already made like $18 million. People,
pretty good.
I went, everyone had Terrifier t-shirts. It was crazy. There's like a rabid fan base for this.
I had no idea. I really don't know anything about these movies.
But,
I know it's a clown and that you said it's a lot, and that's pretty much
It's a lot. But you know what? Every time you go, the guy, Damien Leone, he makes the plots get a little better, the characters get a little better, the effects get a little better. You can see him genuinely improving with each movie, and that's why I think I like this one, is because it feels like it's culminating. They are also like over 2 hours, which
Maybe
is a lot.
Terrifier 7, it'll actually be really good.
He said he's going to get to Terrifier 5, and then he's going to stop.
Oh. Well, he has a plan. I respect that.
But yeah.
I just kind of want to, not right now, I'll do it on my own time, but I kind of want to look up a trailer, just out of curiosity.
I can show you a clip from it. Not on the podcast,
later.
but I'll show you later.
We got other stuff to talk about right now.
We do got other stuff to talk about, something
movie.
equally intense. Anyway, yeah, it was just, I'll finish up my thought on it. It's a real endurance test at over 2 hours, and they do push it with some maiming of children. Not in a gratuitous... Okay, I'll say this. It's not really exploitative of the... You don't ever see like a child in misery. You don't... It's like there's no torturing of a child. However, there is slaying of children.
Okay.
If that is a line...
Like that hasn't been done before.
No, I know. It's maybe a little bit more intense.
Children have died in movies before.
We're all... Quiet Place killed a child.
Yeah. Well, honestly, speaking of killing children...
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, we're going to get into the movie now. So, Climax is... I think it's written and directed both by him. Gaspar Noé, who is a French filmmaker.
Is that how you pronounce that?
Gaspar Noé, yes. Oh, no, he's not French.
He's not?
The movie is set in France. Or maybe he lives in France. Oh, yeah, he says he's based in Paris, but Wikipedia says he's an Argentine and Italian filmmaker, like cross.
Oh.
Argentine and Italian. His whole deal, let me give you some background on Gaspar Noé. His whole deal is just like abrasive, really intense films. He says his goal... I watched a clip after we watched the movie with like Bill Hader, and they were asking...
Bill Hader?
Yeah, Bill Hader was talking about his experience watching Irreversible, which is a different movie he did. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you'd like that one. But he was like, I walked out of that movie, and Gaspar Noé was like, yeah, I was trying to make you walk out. And he was like, fuck you, man. That's not...
Hey, Bill Hader!
So it's like he says that's bullshit. But so Gaspar Noé is just like really abrasive, very bright colors, like strobing lights. It's like very cool camera work usually, but it's very down in the dirt in a way that's like nihilistic and makes you think about life maybe. I don't know.
This movie, in
this
the
is the only movie of
simplest
his I've
terms, is about like essentially a bad acid trip.
Yeah.
And that's also what it feels like watching it.
Yeah.
I've never done acid, but I imagine it's something like this.
But it's like a testament to the filmmaking that you can capture an experience on screen that you would never have experienced otherwise, and now you've like gotten a glimpse into it.
Let's get into it. I'm not saying it's a bad movie by any means,
but it's definitely a lot.
I can't say I enjoyed it.
It's definitely a lot. I guess we'll just get to the plot. We follow a French dance troupe, or like newly formed French dance troupe. Are they going to a competition? I guess I don't know.
It sounds. Well, okay. It starts off. Well, first of all, it starts off with like the girl in the snow because it's like a really cool shot.
Oh,
there's this girl and she's like screaming and she's like crawling through snow.
Yeah.
And then there's credits, which we'll get around to. There's credits, and then there's like a bunch of interviews, basically, of all these dancers that just got hired to do some tour.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know anything. I didn't know if you knew about the dance like organizational aspect of this.
Oh, it seems like they're going on some sort of tour. I don't.
You're the resident dance expert. I don't know anything about dance.
But they don't.
They gathered them all together at this like.
I'm sure they auditioned to be a part of some show.
Yeah.
They talk about some of the interviews are. They interview all of them, which there's like 25 or something. So I know. You have like 25 characters in this. Most of them, I will say, as per usual, we're using the Wikipedia plot to base things off of. I don't think I knew like any of their names. Like I knew them, but just by looking at them, being like, oh yeah, it's that blonde girl.
I don't think
it's the brother and the sister.
I don't think I knew any of their names necessarily, and I think also part of that is just because it's a language barrier, also, and so you just can't really hear when they're saying names as well. But I felt like, all things considered, maybe it's how they all looked and how. I felt like all their personalities were distinct. I don't know. I felt like I had a good time keeping track of who it was and knowing really everybody's sensibilities. By this movie,
actually, the fact that there's such an ensemble and there's clear character distinctions between everyone. No, I agree. I think there's a lot of. I think the costuming. I think there was some distinct hairstyles.
Great dancing.
You guys, listen. The dancing. Dancing's
phenomenal.
Incredible.
Dancing.
They do this whole opening dance number that's so good.
Yeah.
And it's like so much like voguing. It's so good.
I don't know what that is when you say voguing.
Voguing is like, it's a certain style and oh gosh, I wish I knew more like facts about it. I know it's like more popular in New York. It's very popular with like the queer community. It's basically when the viewers can't see me.
Yeah, I can't
when
see.
They like whip their arms around like that and when they're going like down on their knee.
Oh yeah?
Knees, but they're like, that's a big part of it. There's some dancers in the troupe who are more like hip hop breaking type stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say overall it's kind of like in the Vogue realm, which is so cool, so fun.
Yeah, so they
have those interviews. I feel like, is there anything all that important that we need to touch on?
Look, I don't think I could really pinpoint.
There's, like we said, there's 25 of them.
What all they talk about
all at once. They talk about why they like to dance, and
you get a sense for their personalities. You get a sense that they maybe like the brother's a little possessive of his sister. You get sense of one girl who says she's leaving Berlin because she doesn't like the drug scene.
There.
They ask them if they had done drugs. A couple of them have. A couple of them, they don't admit this in the interview, but you get a sense that some of them might be users of drugs currently or have done drugs in the past. Some of them are sober. One guy's sober. So you just get a wide variety of responses, and you get a sense of why they like to dance and their background with drugs, which I guess is really the only thing you need to know going into the movie.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah,
That's true.
You do look at the interviews for a while. I remember you were like, okay, we can.
It was going on for
the pacing of the movie.
I was kind of like, all right, let's get this moving. And then is there credits again?
No,
not yet.
Not yet. Maybe, but there are a few more credits, I think, after the interviews.
I think it's maybe after the dance sequence that I was talking about.
Here's
just really good dancing.
Before we leave the interviews, I want to point out there's some great movies on the sides because it's like displayed in the television. And you can see a couple movies that are clearly inspiration. Suspiria, which you haven't seen, I don't think.
I have not seen.
But that's like an Italian.
I hadn't seen most of the movies that I recognized on there.
But, that's an Italian movie a horror movie set in like a dance conservatory. So that was probably clearly an inspiration. And then Possession, which is a great fucking film.
Another one I haven't seen.
I own that on 4K. It's on our shelf.
Okay. Sure.
It's a great film. And so there's some cool movies, a little couple Easter eggs. I don't know. Pointing it out.
Yeah, cool.
We got to fill the space of the podcast.
No, I think it's great. I definitely recognize some of the movies that were on like the shelves, but I don't think I'd seen any.
Yeah. I guess I wouldn't expect you to. This is out of your realm.
That I remember.
So then
they dance.
Yeah, we see them dance. It's a pretty long dance. It's like 5-10 minutes.
There's like a long dance sequence, and then they start to party, and then they keep dancing.
Well, okay. Well, hold on. We're that's like the first 40 minutes of the movie is what you just sped through in that one sentence.
Well, wait a sec. Okay, well, hold on.
No, okay, yeah. They dance, and then they start to party, and we start to get with the characters a little bit more, and then they dance again later.
I'm trying to remember when they dance again later, because I was going to compliment that part, but I guess if there's other stuff that we need to talk about first.
Well, we can just slow it down a second. See, it feels like you're trying to get out of our podcasting closet as soon as possible.
I just like the dancing, okay?
So yeah,
I was stressed for most of the movie, but I enjoyed the dancing.
They do a 5 to 10 minute dance sequence, and then they kind of all break, and then they're all like, they kind of talk.
The rehearsal's kind of over, so they're just kind of like chilling out, you know?
Yeah, we follow them, and they start to talk, and
it seems like they're about to go on tour, like so they're enjoying like one of their last nights.
Yeah, or they're about to go to the U.S.
The tour is in the U.S.
Okay, did you say that?
Well, I just said tour.
No, okay. Yeah, I just didn't want to make sure.
Oh, yeah, because they say some really French stuff that pissed me off. And I was like, shut up. They're like, oh, yeah, they don't know how to dance like this in the U.S. And I'm like, I might be wrong. I'm not 100% positive about this, but voguing, I'm pretty sure that's American. I'm pretty sure that's came from New York. And if it didn't come from New York, that's where there's a huge scene for it there. Like,
get our engagement up. Yeah.
I was like, all right, French people, you think you're so much better than everyone else.
But the point is, they went after that first dance. They break to start, kind of socializing. That was just an example of the rehearsal that the main girl, Sofia Boutella, I don't know her name. Selva?
She was like the only one whose name I did know,
She's like kind of the main character, sorta, also not really.
If you had to pick a main character, it'd be her.
She's like the one on the poster and he's screaming in that guy's face.
Yeah, and who I feel like follow around.
You follow around for a lot of it, but then they kind of leave her at the end. She is like the one who just did organize or choreographed the dance they just did, and they just did it in 3 days, and you were impressed with it because 3 days is a lot.
3 days it was really.
And they're
good.
talking to I guess who's the organizer of the troupe. She's not a dancer, but she's like a mom with glasses.
I didn't really understand. Honestly, I didn't even realize Selva was the one that choreographed it.
Yeah, no, because she's like, and she was the girl with glasses. Like, yeah, you did great. What's her name? The mom.
There's a mom.
Yeah, what's the mom's name? Do you remember? You don't know?
I have no idea.
Well, there's a mom who's like, I guess the business logistical side of the dance troupe.
Like the manager or something.
And she has a little kid. I think, I don't know what the kid's name is, like Tito?
Tito, yeah, because I was like, Tito. Hey, Tito, whoa.
And so there's a little kid also
don't
there.
Name your kid Tito.
Well, I think that's like another culture thing.
Yeah, I think it is. I just hear Tito's and I think of something different.
What do you think of?
The alcohol.
Oh. Okay, my mind isn't in the gutter, so I'm not thinking of alcohol when I hear the name Tito's.
Tito's.
No, now that you say
gross.
it, yes.
I don't like it.
No one likes it.
But
I get why that's not true.
It's there.
I don't okay. Maybe this is a slippery slope to go down, but like, how are alcoholics drinking like straight vodka? You know what I mean? It's like, I guess if you like are dependent on it, but like,
right.
If you've ever taken a shot of vodka,
I hate.
Holy shit!
I have, but I really.
You really gotta.
I don't think I have in a long time. I think I kind of gave that up a while. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
You know, in college,
I could barely ever do it in the first place.
In college, when you start, you drink the phase where everyone's drinking very heavily. Mm-hmm. I started just buying like Aristocrat for myself, and I was like, why am I buying this?
Why?
I know, that's what I was saying. I was like, what?
Oh, God.
Because I think that was the alcohol that was shown and shared with me, so I was like, I guess this is what we get.
I think there was a few occasions where we had parties at our apartment, and we'd buy Aristocrat because it was cheap, and we could mix it with punch.
Yeah.
That was
that's probably what it was for.
Yeah. I feel like you wouldn't buy Aristocrat, like, for yourself.
Well, I did.
Ugh.
So I could make vodka crayons.
Get some nicer vodka.
I can make a mean vodka crayon.
I believe you, but get something better
I should buy stuff so we can make vodka crayons. But I'll say this.
You should do a drunk podcast sometime.
A drunk podcast, yeah. We'd have to think of what would be a good movie to even do that with. But, the first time I went to an ABC store, the clerk complimented me because they said, wow, you got really good alcohol for your budget, except the Aristocrat. But they pointed out, except the Aristocrat. And I felt like I managed to pick out.
Do you remember what you got?
No.
Oh, I wish I knew.
But it was good stuff. And she was like, oh, wow.
No, I feel like anytime I went to the ABC store, it was probably really obvious I was just a college student, just buying what I could.
Maybe that's why she was also impressed, because she was like, oh, wow. I'm surprised you didn't just pick dog shit.
Pick the really bad drinks that college students can afford.
I mean, they all look the same. How are you supposed to know what's good and what's not good?
Yeah, that's one thing, actually, now that we're on this topic, when you turn 21, like, no
There should
one
be a
tells you
course.
how to order at a bar. Like, I would get vodka cran because that's the only thing I know. What do you mean? Like, what other options are there? I don't know what cocktails there are, you know? Like, how are you supposed to know what to order?
You got to just not
You just
ask
gotta
and pick
kinda-
it up from everybody else.
No, literally. But when you're in a college town, all anyone orders is vodka crayons.
You know what's great? A vodka sour. Get a vodka
I actually
sour
don't think I've
next
had a
time.
vodka sour.
I went to a.
I do love a dirty Shirley.
I've never had that.
And then I discovered green tea shots senior year. And that was,
I've never had a green
That
tea
was-
shot.
oh my gosh,
I'm sure my
life-changing.
I'm sure my parents are loving listening to this
Yeah,
part
no,
of the
this is probably not
podcast
gonna
where
be
we're
great.
just talking about alcohol. I don't know. Look,
Because I don't really like shots just generally, but green tea shots, trying that at Goodfellas was like, oh, this is great.
I haven't had it.
Dangerous.
I should have tried it there. Now I
Dangerous.
wasted my college years not drinking.
Well, you can order a
That
green
much.
tea shot at another bar.
I guess.
It
Oh
does
yeah, I guess
need
that's
to
not a
be- It does
Goodfellas
not need to be
exclusive.
Goodfellas.
We should get back on topic, but yeah, the reason why we go into this much depth about alcohol is because there's a punch bowl in the movie,
Yes.
like
it
a
has
sangria punch bowl, which also looks like the Tyson mixture I made for our party we had.
It did.
It did,
We had a housewarming party.
and
Tyson made a wonderful drink. Kudos to Tyson.
say that again.
Kudos to Tyson.
Yeah. But the jar spilled out all onto the floor, so we lost it all.
It was an event.
It was an event. But they all start drinking, except one guy, because he's sober.
Who's sober.
And then there's another girl who's not
she's
seen
saying
drinking,
she doesn't want to drink.
which we'll get into later. But everybody else is drinking, and the mom is very clearly telling Tito, she's like, hey, you can't drink this. This is sangria.
Alcohol. Yeah. And he's
sangria,
probably like,
alcohol,
what,
juice.
7?
Yeah. So she puts him to bed. But everybody's drinking and having a good time, and we're just kind of learning about each other and them talking.
Oh, God.
We're not going to get into depth about what them, but there's some of the guys, and they say,
It's kind of going back and forth between several different conversations happening. Ugh.
yes,
There's like,
a bunch of the guys say some very
there are
heinous
2 guys
shit.
having a just graphic conversation. Ugh.
Well, there's also,
Disgusting.
and there's also a guy,
Men
what-
are the worst.
what's the name of the guy in like the blue
I
tracksuit?
have no clue. I know who exactly you're talking about. I don't know what his name is.
But he's like the other semi-main character. Nah, you focused on him a little bit.
He's talking to Selva during this, right?
Yeah.
He's basically trying to pursue her.
But he also says some pretty nasty things about other women.
yeah, no, wait, no. He's not talking to Selva. He's talking to the brother.
A little, I'm sure maybe at one point he talked to the brother.
He's talking to some guy. There's a guy that's trying to hook up. There's a brother and a sister. I feel like we should explain that.
Yes.
There's a guy that the sister is either hooking up with or wants to hook up with. Like, there's something going on there. And the brother is trying to be like a
and the
protective older brother.
yeah.
He's like, no, I care about you. Like, you can't, don't do that. You're too young. She's like, I'm 20. Anyway,
I'm 20.
I think that one guy. So there's a guy in a blue tracksuit that is pursuing Selva. It sounds like he's screwing everyone in this
Yeah,
dance
no,
troupe, actually.
he makes that very well known.
Yeah, he's like,
Another girl-
I get around.
Another girl's like, yeah, he's like gross. He's like,
Yeah, then it cuts to the girl conversation. They're like, that guy sucks. Like, we do not like him. And then there's also like the one like I guess like lesbian couple, and they're fighting.
oh, do you mean the 2 blonde girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if are they a lesbian couple? They're like friends.
Lesbian couple?
I
Weren't they
didn't-
like making out at some point?
maybe
Oh.
free flowing sexuality in France.
Yeah, that's honestly, yeah, that seems what's going on in this group.
Oh, and there's
It
also
kind of seems like everybody's hooking up with everyone to a certain
there's also like a
degree.
really young gay man who's like wanting to get with the blue tracksuit dude.
Yes. And he, yeah.
So there's a lot going on. There's like a DJ.
Just a lot of dynamics.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to sleep with everybody. I think
Everybody wants to sleep with
sum
anybody.
it up, and
But-
some of them are foul about it.
I think part of the point is that when the conversations, as we keep checking in with them, they kind of
escalate.
continue to escalate and get more graphic. So I
Yes.
think part of that is the idea that you're watching the alcohol start to settle in and them get a little looser and a little bit more open about thoughts, I guess.
Some things that you don't need to share everything.
Yeah, you don't need to share anything.
Some things you should keep to yourself and maybe not say out loud
So
ever.
and at this point, you're thinking, oh, it's just alcohol still. So then we check in with them dancing again.
They're dancing. This is the part I want to talk about because they're
It's a
basically
very
doing
cool
a
top-down
it's
shot.
like a circle and everybody's kind of taking turns in the circle freestyling.
Like a bird's eye view.
And it's a bird's eye view. It just looks so cool. I feel like dance is, first of all, we know I love dance. We talked about this before. Love dance. But dance is so cool on film, and I love when people are able to find ways to film it creatively versus just like a static shot.
This is another reason why I showed the movie to you.
This part was so cool watching it from the bird's eye view, and like especially when they're doing like the death drops and stuff. The way it looks from above is just something
they do that a lot. They do the death drop a lot.
It's like a staple of that style.
Is it?
But it is. But it's just it looks so cool from that angle, and it's something that like you would never be able to, if you went to a show, you're never going to see it like that, you know? Like that's truly like you're going to get that in that film and that's it. So I love when movies that have dance in them figure out how to move the camera. Or I guess the camera doesn't even, well, actually it does start moving.
Well, it will. About halfway through it starts spinning
a little bit.
Slightly. And it's you can kind of tell they're dancing compared to like the very opening, which was like super calculated.
Yes.
It's starting to get a little bit looser, a little bit more freeform.
Yes.
Yeah, and then also the camera starts to rotate. So you get a sense that, okay, things are settling in.
And things are getting a little topsy-turvy in here.
And then so the dancing ends, and then the credits happen for a third time.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, okay, which I'll just check in. Gaspar Noé apparently does this thing, it's like one of his trademarks, is that he incorporates the credits like piece by piece throughout the film or in untraditional places in
I kind of thought it was cool,
movie.
honestly.
I think it does a cool thing here because you see the last little bit of the credits about the halfway point, and you're like, oh man, I really wish the movie ended here. Because it's like...
Oh, because it's before all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, it's literally before anything really bad happens.
But I feel like it's cool. I feel like the credits were cool because it almost divided it into like...
Yeah, little chapters.
Yeah. And now we're getting into it.
Yeah.
Now the movie really starts.
Yeah.
It's all been fun up to this point.
But not anymore. Not anymore. So they all start kind of feeling a little bit weird, and everybody's kind of started to collapse on the floor a little bit and sweating, and people are talking about how they don't feel great.
Mm-hmm.
And they I don't remember who exactly it is that comes to the conclusion.
Like, something's in this. Something's in this drink.
Yeah. It's,
Someone spiked it. Oh, well, the one girl, the German girl who's like, oh, I'm trying to get away from the drugs. She just pees.
Yeah, this is when you're the first thing. She, like, pees on the dance floor.
That's kind of the first obvious thing. Like, I feel like you can tell at this point people are feeling loose, but it's the first obvious thing that she just kind of walks in the middle of the dance floor and just, like, pees.
Very Exorcist moment. But it's like, is that, like, a thing that happens when you're on drugs? I don't know. I guess I haven't done them.
I don't know.
But it's like... So
don't do drugs, kids.
It's like acid or LSD. I don't think it's really LSD.
I don't know if she like was incontinent because of the drug or she just feeling loose and it's just like, yeah, I just need to pee, so I'm gonna pee here.
Which I guess would be very stressful if you didn't know you were consuming LSD and then you actually consumed LSD.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what happens.
Here's the other thing, right? You have no idea how much LSD you've consumed. If it's in a punch bowl and you're drinking that punch and you just think you're drinking sangria, I might go for 2-3 glasses. Kill me, sue me.
No, I probably would too.
And then you're drinking, you don't even know how much, like, I guess I don't even really know the form of LSD. It's like drops or like liquid. So, like, it's probably not an exact amount.
I don't know. I don't know much about drugs.
So, like, especially if you didn't have any kind of tolerance for that kind of stuff and you were just hit with, like...
Bad.
A super
and you don't even
amount.
know what's going on.
Yeah, you wouldn't know what was going on. And that's why it's a horror movie, because none of these people know what's going on, and they all low-key hate each other. So it's like, it's just a very...
It just descends into madness.
It's like
it gets so stressful so fast, you guys. Like, you don't understand.
It's like, it gets crazy because they all start tripping on LSD.
Somebody, I don't remember who it is either, but somebody's like, this has been spiked. We are under some sort of influence. So then people start trying to point fingers.
Yeah. It's, now we've entered into a classic Agatha Christie whodunit.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Who spiked the punch?
Which really no one kind of discovers because everyone's high on LSD, and so they all start making completely irrational
all start pointing at people.
Decisions.
First they blame the mom.
Because they're like...
But she's like, I had no idea. I drank this, I'm feeling the same effects. Yeah, because she made it. Also, we should mention, she put the kid to bed.
Yeah, we did. I mentioned that.
Oh, okay. I forgot you mentioned that. But
so the kid is out of the equation
for now.
And
so she gets blamed first, but she's like, no, like I drank this. I'm also feeling this. I don't know. It wasn't me. Like it wasn't me. So then who do they blame next?
this is the first like weird thing they do that's like doesn't make any sense.
Blame the sober guy because
Yes.
they're like, well, you didn't drink any, so you're not feeling any effects. So obviously you did this to the rest of us. And also part of the reason they blame him is because the brother. The sober guy is the one who wants to get with the sister, and so the brother's looking for a reason basically to get mad at him.
Which I think is, but I think also like, I don't know, if you were thinking like with your full brain capacity, you wouldn't just accuse and then like not listen to the. But I mean, I guess they're.
I feel like the sober person, and maybe this is why they suspect him, the person you would least suspect, also because like.
Why would they do it?
They
also
end up kicking him out, and it's like. That was the one person who had their wits about them, who maybe could have figured out something.
They're in like some kind of rehearsal space / like boarding where they can sleep, but it's like a snowstorm outside, like a crazy snowstorm, and so they throw the guy out and they lock him outside.
They lock him out,
and that's it. They don't let him back in.
We don't see him again.
Yeah, they don't let him back in because they're all high on LSD. So they like, I guess they're not thinking or they just forget. Because
probably both.
I think drugs obviously. I think you would start getting the attention span of a goldfish. So your mind kind of starts, you're struggling to like coherently think about one thing only.
Right.
So they kick him out. So that's one down. They're kind of...
Not everyone's making it out of this movie alive.
They think, okay, well, they kicked him out. I guess they don't, I don't even know what they're thinking now. Because why, I mean, you kicked him out.
I think,
so what do you do now?
It's kind of a mix because we have to remember there's like 25 people there or something. So some of them
it's like 20. I don't even think it's 25.
Just dancing.
Yeah, a lot of them are just dancing still.
Some of them have gone into other rooms. So, like they're all kind of spread out. There was only like a few who were like actually like attacking this guy.
Yeah. There's a lot of really cool camera work because you kind of just follow people.
Yeah.
And it's like usually like one take, or it looks like one take. I don't know if they faked it, but it's like you're kind of just free flowing. Kind of like it's kind of like you're there with them a lot of the time, and you're walking around.
It does feel like that, and like you're just walking through the
You're
scene.
You're just walking and watching people. I don't know. I think it's very cool. So I guess the child was only out of the equation for a little bit.
Yeah, they put the kid to bed, but the kid's back up, and he wants to party. So he's drinking the sangria.
He's drinking the sangria. No! That's not the last thing. It's not clear how much he drank, but the mom didn't notice until, I mean, like he could have been...
He drank some.
Yeah.
We know he drank some. We don't know how much. And
keep in mind, this kid's like 6 or 7 or 8.
Yes.
He's small.
He's a child.
So like...
And the only sober person is now gone. Everybody is tripping on
Well, there's
LSD
one
or
more
whatever.
person who didn't drink it.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. And we'll get to her.
Yeah.
So the mom, in her state of mind, she's like freaking out. Oh my God, you can't drink that. No. So she takes the kid and she's trying to think of a safe place to put him.
Because it's like, this kid might start tripping on LSD
this kid's
also.
Gonna do something bad, like bad things.
And then there's also a million like chaotic dancers.
Yeah, the dancers who are starting to act a little weird and crazy. She's like, I need to get him away from them. So
in her LSD mind, she finds like an electrical closet with like a giant breaker board.
And she just is like, don't touch that, you'll die.
No,
and then she closes the
him
door.
In there. He closes him in there and locks the door. And she's like, Mom, let me out. Well, it's in French, but it's like, Mama, let me out.
Mama.
And then
I was going to say please, but I don't know please.
Yeah. Oui. I don't know.
No, not oui. Oui is yes.
Oh, no.
No, wait, merci is thank you.
So, but he's like...
S'il vous plaît or something.
And there's no lights in that electrical closet. And also, he says... There's
and
cockroaches.
The mom's just like, I'm sorry, like, this is, like,
he says there are cockroaches.
Yeah. And also, he's tripping on LSD, probably.
Well, he's not yet, probably, but, because he just drank it, but he will be soon. And so, I just want to put your mind in this kid's position for a second, because he's in this electrical closet, it's dark, there are cockroaches, you're about to start tripping on LSD, you're 6 years old, so you have no fucking clue what's going on.
I was very upset at this. Thank you for laying out the situation. I know. I watched the movie. I was quite upset.
I'm just laying it out again for the people listening who may not have seen it. And then there's a breaker board, and he's locked in there. And so he's banging on the door, and you hear him.
And he's like, screaming and crying.
Anytime you walk past, like we as the people with the camera, like walk past.
Because, we'll be going back and forth.
You hear him just like banging in there and yelling.
Good sound design.
Yeah. No, good sound design. So the kid is out of the equation again for now.
Well, he's in the electrical room.
Yeah.
So then we go and back to Selva. She goes and finds her friend, the one who earlier was like, I don't want to drink right now.
But she's throwing up and she's like, oh, did you drink? And she's like, no, I didn't drink. You can't tell anybody this, but I'm pregnant.
Right.
Oh boy. So one of the other dancers comes in and they're like, hey, I'm not feeling good too. And they're like, can you just leave us alone? They're like, why?
Why? Yeah.
Because I guess LSD makes you really antagonistic, but
I don't know.
But they're like,
I think LSD is just one of those drugs, I think, where it just kind of intensifies whatever emotions you're having. So if you're feeling good, then you're going to feel great.
Exactly.
And if you don't feel good, then it's going to put you down to the pits of hell.
She's like...
So yeah, this other girl comes in.
And then she's like, well, did you drink it? And she's like, no, I didn't drink it. And they're like, oh, so you're the one who poisoned us. We threw that guy out. And
Because clearly the person who spiked it has to have not drank it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, and here's what really pisses me off. Because they think that, and then it's like, no one makes any like attempt to get the guy in because they think it's her for like a minute.
Yeah, well, she gets beat up.
Yeah, okay, so then then Selva's like, no, she's pregnant. Great job keeping the secret. Though I guess in her sense she was about to get beat up anyway. But then she
this other girl
this other girl's knees her in the stomach.
Several times. It's like, oh god, like the baby this isn't good.
No, and she's like, oh my god, we gotta get to a hospital. But everybody's tripping on LSD.
Yeah, nobody's going to a hospital.
And so she walks out and then everybody's like, yeah, she's not pregnant, she lied.
When does this take place? Does no one have a phone?
No, it's like the 90s. Because they say,
it is the 90s.
This is a great,
I forgot about
this
that.
is a great part to mention this. At the beginning of the movie, they say this is based off a real event that happened in the 90s in France. I call bullshit on that because I do not think that happened. However, and also I could be wrong, but however, this happened on the set of Titanic.
Okay, well, wait a minute. You have to elaborate that.
No, it
did not happen.
Well, I mean, no, but someone spiked, like, the drink on the crafty table on the set of Titanic with PCP. I'm not fucking with you.
No, I believe that. That's crazy. I mean, that's crazy.
Titanic PCP story. James Cameron recalls the night Titanic's cast and crew were poisoned by PCP spiked chowder. Oh, it's chowder.
Chowder? What? Why? Like, what is the reasoning and logic behind why would you spike chowder to drug the cast and crew of Titanic? Like, why? What?
I'm reading this article now. Okay, there was an emergency room with no one in it and like a nurse, and 85 crew members walk in and they all start feeling weird and they don't know what's going on. And basically somebody had taken a pound of PCP and dumped it into the chowder. A pound.
They never figured out who.
Okay.
Or why.
Then the article says, James Cameron says, we have a pretty strong suspicion of who it was, although it was never proven. What a crazy story. Okay, wait, there's another quote here. We believe the story is that it was somebody who had beef with the caterers, because the first thing we did was fire the caterers. And sure enough, we had some leads on that. Of course, the operating theory was that I was such a psychomaniac that the perpetrator was trying to get back at me. But I reject that theory out of hand for obvious reasons.
Wow.
Imagine you're on the set of Titanic.
Dude, that'd be crazy if the caterer... Why'd they fire the caterers?
Because they think it's the caterers who did it.
No, they think the caterers are just for the hell of it?
I mean, no.
Wait. Are they saying they...
I don't know the exact
I'm
specifics.
confused. Maybe I didn't hear that correctly. Because from what that sounded like to me...
No, they think... At first, their knee-jerk reaction was that the caterers did it because, I guess... They're the ones in charge of the food.
Right.
So they fire them, but then they think it's somebody just trying to get back at James Cameron. Or somebody had beef with the caterers.
James Cameron is...
He's
fine. He seems like a nice enough guy.
No, that's crazy. I wonder if James Cameron was on PC. Everybody was on PC. 85. Holy shit, dude.
I was going to say Leonardo DiCaprio, but honestly, him
maybe
on drugs is not that shocking.
Maybe. He was probably doing coke or whatever.
Yeah, he's probably...
People doing coke also in this movie.
Maybe I shouldn't make any assumptions.
Yeah, I think it's slander. Libel, one of them.
Where were we?
But anyway...
she beats up the pregnant girl.
Because this was the 90s, and apparently this is based on a French thing. I bet it's also half inspired by that Titanic story. Because that also took place in the 90s.
Maybe.
I was just going on a story. I thought that was an interesting story to share for the podcast. It is an
interesting story. I liked it. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome. And so...
Back to this nightmare.
So, yeah, they...
Oh, also... Okay, while this is happening, there's another girl who...
Oh, wait, no, we didn't finish with the pregnant girl.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, this is
what were you? What was the thread you were gonna start?
the girl whose hair catches on fire because she won't share her cocaine.
Oh yeah, that happens.
There's two girls,
and then
one
a
of them's
girl
like, "Give me some cocaine," and the other one's like, "No," and then
she pushes her into like a candle or like a stove burner.
Yeah,
and it like catches her hair on
catches
fire. And we don't check back in with her. So
no, I think we see her.
we see everybody at the very, very end, but. So that happened. So the pregnant girl is running out into the main dance floor, and it's like, "Hey, somebody help!"
She's very upset because your baby's probably dead.
They probably killed the baby. But no, everybody's like, "You did it," and I guess they all fucking hate her because she's like, "No, I was pregnant," and they're like, "You're lying,"
they're all
and they're like,
screaming at her,
and they're like, "Who would sleep with you?"
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, guys.
Who would sleep? You're not pregnant. No one would sleep with you. You're disgusting. And then
she takes a knife to try to defend herself from them. They're like, "Do it, cut yourself." And so she just starts cutting her arm. Not like in a suicidal position.
No, just like in a self-harm way.
Yeah, just like on the upper bicep or like she does it on her cheek. It's like, why are you doing that?
It's very upsetting. I guess
she may not be drugged, but she's clearly mentally.
She's clearly not well. Like she's
getting peer pressured.
Yeah. If she's having this meltdown and cutting herself, clearly she's not okay.
No. And then that's the last we check in with her for a bit.
Yeah, that's... I honestly was kind of confused where she went for the whole rest of the movie.
I think she's the girl running in the snow at the very end.
No, I think she is.
Yeah.
The very beginning. Yeah.
But
I don't know where she goes during the whole rest of the movie.
No, good that she gets out of it.
Hopefully she just goes and sits in a room and waits it out. That's what I hope.
Yeah, that's surely what happens. Okay. So... Who else?
Who's next?
Who else has happened?
Who's next? Okay.
And then we check back in with Selva, who's super high at this point and walking around, and
we kind of follow her around.
Yeah, and she kind of is just walking around, and like she looks at walls, and she's like feeling her arms, and she's clearly tweaking the fuck out.
She's having a horrible time. Like we said, some people are still just dancing.
Yeah.
There are some people who are having a good high. Okay, they're having a good time.
Yeah, some people are not
having a horrible time.
It is.
She is freaking out. She is like crying. She's like looks like she's like trying to like rip herself out of her body. Yeah, she looks like
she's trying to rip herself. But then, like for a moment, she sees a mural of trees on one of the hallway walls, and she like gets relief for a second.
Because she thinks she's outside, and then she realizes it's just a painting on the wall.
It's horrible. But it's there are moments where are funny because it's just the most horrible shit happening, and then in the background somebody's literally
just like dancing.
It's pretty funny. But
which I do want to say, we suspected this and then we confirmed it. But the movie is almost entirely cast with actual dancers and not. I think two people had acting experience.
Yeah, Sophia Boutella.
Which I think one is really cool, and it comes through in the dancing scenes. Obviously,
because everybody's dancing great.
But, yeah, the dancing is like so obvious. Like I'm like they have to be dancers. But then also even just moments like when they're moving through and there's people in the background,
being choreographed with the camera.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I feel like they look like dancers even at the times when they're not dancing. If that
which
makes
I
sense.
think
I think is a really nice look, and it looks really cool.
I think it's crazy they managed to get dancing because like. Having to act this high on LSD has to be immensely hard as an actor.
Yeah, well, I feel like this is honestly really intense.
It's also not necessarily unbelievable. I don't think anybody like feels like they're faking being high.
No,
I feel like everybody off their fucking mind.
Great job,
like in a horrible way. So David tries to get her. Okay, some people are punching David because I guess everyone's sick of his shit.
David, just a reminder, blue jumpsuit guy who just is sleeping with everybody.
Yeah, I remembered his name.
He's getting beat up because why not?
People don't like him, and so they try to leave together, and he starts punching shit because he gets mad because I think he wants to sleep with her, but I think everyone's like confused.
Oh yeah, I kind of forgot about that. He gets kind of violent for a second, and I thought things were gonna go in a bad direction.
No, this movie doesn't really cross.
It doesn't go that way
in that line, but so she eventually is sick of it because she's like, I guess they had some kind of romance in the past, and now it's over.
That's what it seems like. Yeah,
now it's over, and so she screams in his face, and continues on her wayward journey,
doing her thing
of freaking the fuck out.
Yeah,
there's one part where she just goes to the sink. Gets freaked out by her image in the mirror, and then just completely
washes
puts her head in the sink.
Which honestly probably feels kind of nice,
dude.
You don't act upset now. You made me watch this.
No, I'm not upset. It's such a great movie to me. I don't know. I really like this movie.
Okay. Oh, then all of a sudden.
Okay, yeah.
The lights turn off.
The lights short out. And we know why. So.
You remember who's in the electrical closet?
So.
This is a really depressing movie to talk about
wait.
on the podcast.
No, but before that happens, I guess she changes her mind. So she tries to get Tito out of the closet, but she's like, I don't know where I placed the key.
Oh, the mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the mom is like frantically searching all over the place for the key.
So that happens for a bit.
Because he's screaming and crying and saying there's cockroaches, and he's also tripping.
And all this stuff is happening concurrently. So you're just kind of bouncing back and forth
because you kind of just, like we said, it's like you're there. You're just kind of walking through everything that's happening.
And yeah, she's like, I lost the key. So she can't get him out anyway.
No. So yeah, the lights turn off.
And so when
someone's like, "Oh, Tito got fried."
Crazy, by the way.
Crazy thing to say. Oh my god.
But if you're high on LSD,
which, like, I have to say, like, it was upsetting. But the second that kid got put in there, I was like, he's not making.
No, because they literally say, "Don't touch this, you'll die." It's literally they almost say that verbatim. I think they say, "This will kill you. Do not touch this."
Yeah.
You know that kid's touching that shit.
I knew that.
Why else would they say that? They wouldn't say that unless it was going to happen. So the mom's like, "Oh my god, I killed my son."
Yeah. So
she's also high on LSD.
Right.
So
she
has a breakdown and then she kind of leaves the movie. We don't really check back in with her. We check in with her at the very end because we check in with everybody at the very end.
Okay.
What else happens next? So the lights are out.
I think we go back to following Selva around.
Yeah. So then
she starts hanging out with one of the
other dancers. Then they kind of leave the movie. Because Selva kind of goes into a bedroom with this other girl.
They basically hook up and then they close the door and that's kind of it.
And David's locked out.
David tries to get in there and they're like, no, get out. And then he does.
Then David runs into the brother and the sister. Okay, so this is a really down in the dirt episode of this podcast.
Yeah, no, I know. Talking about this is actually.
I didn't think about the fact that we would have to
describe everything.
I was like, this is a scary as shit movie. It's scary in like a realistic way.
Yeah.
So the brother and the sister
me out.
Are committing incest, is how I'm gonna say it. So yeah.
And then the sister, kind of, I don't know, she has like a moment of clarity, I guess.
Yeah, and she's like confused.
What's going on?
I don't think you're fully aware of what's going on. It's definitely not a good situation for anybody.
Yeah, just bad.
And
bad.
She kind of goes out, and then we get onto the dance floor.
Is this when there's just like that long?
Yeah. So
there is this disorienting.
And this is what's really cool because it's like the movie is constantly like you're constantly on an upward trajectory because the way drugs start to affect you, and then they affect you a little bit more. Again, this is not from personal experience. I know
neither of us have ever done drugs.
I know people who do hardcore drugs, and I've talked to them about it out of curiosity. So the way drugs work is that, like a drug like this, you are going to, and it's where the movie's name comes from, you are constantly on an escalating thing of effect. It's like how you drink, and then you get more drunk as you drink more.
Sure.
So they consumed all these drugs, and they're not consuming more, but you slowly get a more compounding effect. Until it climaxes and then it goes down.
This part is literally
we are reaching the climax of the psychosis.
Wildly.
Yeah.
And the
camera's upside down.
It's upside down
and close to the floor,
constantly moving,
and swerving through. And you see people like contorted. There's a couple having sex on the dance floor.
Yeah, that was coming. Some of them had like painted themselves with like white, like it was like dip or something that was on the snack table. Yeah. It was some sort of food or like whipped cream or something.
And everybody's freaking the fuck out.
The dancing is I can't even comment on the dancing because I cannot tell what's going on.
And like, everybody's doing like facial tics, like clicking their tongues and like contorting their faces.
It honestly gave me a little bit of a headache. Like I was so disoriented. I was like, I don't feel good
intentionally
watching this.
Though.
I think that's
because it's strobing red
kind
light.
Of the point. It's strobing red light. You genuinely can't really tell what's going on. I like felt a little sick watching this part.
Yeah.
This is a lot. A lot going on.
So,
and it goes on for like 10 minutes or something. I felt like a long time. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
The sister starts to have a seizure. She's fine though, but she starts to have a seizure.
Oh yes.
and then David is attacked again by a bunch of guys, and then his head slams onto the floor, and then we black out. And then, I mean, there's not much else. And then we check in the morning, where I guess local police kind of check in, and they break in, or they don't break in, but they force their entry into the facility, which I guess I don't know how they would know I guess it's not important how they found out, but either way, the police check in, and so there's a couple people still dancing.
I think it's just the one girl.
Early in the morning. I think there's like another person too.
Okay, I think most people are just passed out on the floor.
A lot of people are passed out. A couple of them are like scratching themselves because of like, I guess, some weird skin irritation from the drug.
Oh my gosh, that
guy's
one
like
guy
scraping off his skin.
Like, his entire side was like raw red.
The girl's hair, who burned her hair, is like, he's burned down to like 3rd-degree burns on her scalp.
Yeah.
She's not dead, but she's like trying to cool it off in the sink, and it's doesn't look good. Selva and that girl ended up all right. They're in bed. The guy that they pushed outside, he's dead. He froze to death.
The mom, she
the mom killed herself because
outside the electrical room because her son
is also dead in the electrical room. Yeah, it's a real bummer of a movie. But one of the blonde girls is still dancing, and then she's what?
I was gonna say the sister wakes up.
The sister wakes
next
up.
to the brother, and the brother's like basically begging her, like, don't say anything.
But he's like, yeah, nothing happened. And she's like, what? And she's like, don't tell dad. It's like, it's really gross. It's a scary movie, man. It's a scary movie.
That's scary for the wrong reasons, though. I feel like if I watch a scary movie, I want something to be like, boo, and we go,
No, man.
Not incest and child death and suicide. Jesus.
It's an intense trip, man. It's the biggest anti-drug PSA you could ever ask for.
No, I will never do drugs. I mean, I wasn't planning on it before this movie anyway, but...
You at least can't do the drugs that fuck with your, like, perception of reality.
Of reality, yeah.
That is, like...
But, I mean, isn't the...
That's not all of them.
I was going to say that's alcohol to a certain extent.
No, like hallucinogenic drugs.
We both have some healthy amount of drinking.
We'll drink a beer.
We'll have some sips.
Of wine. You know,
I drank some wine last night.
Sometimes they give kids wine in like Europe.
Yeah, that's so true.
So, I mean, really, what's wrong with that? Anyway, so this blonde girl is like packing up her bag. She has like a giant book on LSD and like a bunch of LSD. This is the same girl that said she left Berlin because
to get away from the drug
all the drug scenes.
So we can safely assume it was her.
And she eye drops some more LSD into her eye.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
I saw on Reddit like afterwards, someone was saying that's a fuck ton of LSD. Like multiple eye drops into your eye. Like one drop.
So she just
one
lives
drop is getting
high, basically.
Yeah, I know. Like 3 or 4 drops in your eye would like.
And to be fair, she was like one of the last people still dancing.
So imagine. No, she was having a. Honestly, that's really the hint.
Whole time.
She's the one that's having the fine time.
She had no bad time at all during that.
Except for peeing on the floor, maybe.
She's kind of doing a little white girl dance, honestly.
But like.
She peed on the floor, but I don't even think she was upset about that.
No.
She didn't care.
That's like fucked up that she. That's what's horrifying about it. Because it's like she just did that and everybody else is like, has to face the consequences. If she put 3 or 4 drops into her eye, imagine how much she put into that punch bowl. And if 3 or 4 eye drop into your eye is like, gets you like fucked based on that Reddit post I saw, that's crazy. And that's the movie. And then it ends.
Yeah.
So, what'd you think about it?
Okay, listen. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I didn't like it personally. Personally, for me and my taste,
fair enough.
Not my thing.
Fair enough.
But I do respect what it was. I don't think it's a bad film. I think it's in a lot of ways a very great film.
What it wants to do.
Yes, it very much accomplishes what it wants to do. It's very inventive filmmaking with the way the camera's moving and just the way the story's told. It's well done. Okay, I'm not trying to like trash this movie. For me personally, it was a lot. Like, I don't know, but then part of me is like, isn't that the point? Like, I wasn't supposed to enjoy this. Yeah. I was supposed to have a terrible time, and I had a terrible time. I didn't have fun. I was stressed out.
It's a brisk 90 minutes. It's a little longer than 90 minutes.
So long.
I don't know. This movie went by like really fast. I don't know.
I think go by fast. I think it was also funny because I had a really stressful day, and you were kind of like, "We don't need to watch this right now." I was like, "No. We said we were gonna watch it. Let's put it on." And I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's my overall take is that I respect it. I think it's great at a lot of things. I don't think it's by any means a bad movie.
But you're done.
Me personally, not my thing. I don't want to watch it ever again. I'm done. No, thank you.
I'm wondering if you would have had a better reaction if I showed you like one of those Terrifier movies. I'm not going to show you one of the Terrifier movies, but like,
okay.
I'm just like, because that's more like, hey, we're having some fun here.
I'd probably just.
That's gross in a different way. Yeah. I don't know. I think I like that filmmaking is transportive in that way, in like the pretentious art sense. But I don't know. I think the movie, for as stressful as it is, it's pretty fun. I feel it's like a roller coaster of like holy shit. I'll say this: it's stimulating.
Fun is the word I would use.
It's stimulating.
Yeah.
I was never bored.
No, I wasn't either.
Even in the beginning, it's just interesting hearing them talk because they're all just like terrible people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, look. I clearly like the movie, and I clearly showed it to you. And believe it or not, I think this is a great Halloween movie because it's scary as fuck.
Yep, it's terrifying.
It's a horror movie.
But not in a fun way. In my personal opinion, I know you think it's fun. I did not have fun.
A24 movie, also, technically.
I feel like every movie is an A24 movie recently.
Everything that isn't like made by like one of the main people, like Warner Brothers or Universal, is like an A24 because they just get everything else.
Yeah, I feel like A24 used to be this like teeny.
No, they're like a main
indie company, and now every other movie is A24. We live in time as A24.
This was from like 2018 though, so this is like early A24.
Early.
I mean, not early.
Yeah.
I mean, A24
mid.
He's like
mid timing, I guess, compared to now.
Early to mid.
I don't know what mid. I mean,
this is really like splitting hairs. Like The Witch was probably one of the first movies they did.
No,
2015.
They went further back than that.
A little bit. Like 2013, maybe. That decade.
When was The Witch?
2015.
Oh, that's older than I realized.
Yeah, it's pretty old. We're old too.
Yeah.
We're probably about the same age as a lot of the people in this movie.
Ancient.
Yeah, I'm 23.
Yeah. Oh God.
All right. Well, let's
Grandpa.
not ponder on that for too much.
Yeah. Thank God we got through. Honestly, I feel like this is
pretty short episode of the podcast.
Yeah. Well, there's only so much. I feel like this is a very, I don't know, like experiential movie.
No,
like,
it definitely. I don't feel like us describing it. It's not a very good movie to relay on the podcast
unless you sit down and watch it.
You definitely kind of have to just like subject yourself to the movie.
I would say, depending on your taste, you should either really do it or you should totally avoid it.
Yeah, I don't think there's anyone who would be like, that was an okay movie. They either really like it or they don't ever want to fucking watch it again.
Right. Which honestly, it's kind of funny because I feel that way about several movies you showed me, where I'm like, you know what? I get it. I think it's great, but I never want to watch it again.
Like what? Skinamarink?
No, because I didn't think that was great at all. I thought that was just bad, and I don't want to watch it again. No,
I hate that episode is like the worst sounding episode we've ever done.
No, that's actually really funny. And it's funny too because we open it, we're like, you guys, listen to that nice crisp sound, and it just turned out our microphone was turned the wrong way, and yeah. No, I was gonna say Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was not one we did for the podcast. That was one just like in the past.
Yeah.
Great, fantastic movie.
Super influential.
I'm good. Don't
Number
watch
one
it
on Variety's scariest movies list that just released.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic movie, and I never want to see it again. What was the other one I was gonna say? Strangers. I think it's a good movie.
It's all right.
Absolutely not.
I think this is a way better movie than Strangers.
Yeah, I agree with that actually. But that was another one where I'm just saying, I'm like, I think it's a good, objectively
Strangers
good movie,
is just
but
kind
I
of
don't
a thrill,
want to.
a tense thrilling.
I'm done. I don't want to. No. Okay, so we can add this to that list.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for what you got in store for me next week.
Oh my God, I'm excited too.
Our final Halloween episode.
Our little final spooky Halloween season.
Right? We did 4 little Halloween.
Yeah, this will be the last one. This will be coming out the week
of Halloween.
The Sunday before Halloween, yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And it's going to be
Halloween weekend.
Yeah, well, that's the debate this year because Halloween's on a Thursday, so people are like, do we do it the weekend before or the weekend after?
Before. It's not like a thing where Halloween.
I think too.
Halloween energy does not happen after Halloween.
That's personally what I think too, but people online are debating it.
They're stupid.
So what was I saying? Oh, yes, the movie I will be showing you is. I forgot. The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yay!
And you said you've seen this before.
Yeah, I've seen this. But not in a long time, so.
We're going to try and go to a theater and see it. Oh. I will say, because it's so popular.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think that's going to happen. We'd have to go to like midnight.
Hell yeah. That's the whole point. So we're going to look into it. Hopefully, worst case scenario, we don't go see it at a theater and we'll just watch it at home.
Here's the thing about Rocky Horror showings is that there's like an active participation you have to do as the audience.
Yes.
And I can I not just sit and watch the movie?
Since you've seen it before, if we can and
get
the
the
full
new
experience, that's what I would
Fair
like
enough.
to do. But I mean,
can
tune
we
in
just
next
shut
week
up
to
and
see
watch
if
the movie?
Yeah, tune in next week to see if we actually get to do that. I've been looking, and listen, we're in LA, so it's a pretty popular thing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So we'll see what we can do. But worst case, we'll just watch it.
Did they do those in Chapel Hill?
Rocky Horror?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they
did
a lot of movie theaters
productions.
across the country do it, around Halloween. But then Chapel Hill had one of the theater groups did it every single year, so we would go. It was really fun.
That's a crazy movie that, like, I guess I'll
very
say,
much has a cult following.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's like, how that movie caught on with anybody is crazy to me. It's so weird. It's a weird movie.
It is a weird movie, but
not in a negative sense, in a positive sense.
No, I love it.
Well,
but
I'll save my
movie.
I'll save my advanced thoughts for when I get a refresher. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm excited. Let's
too.
Let's
I
end
love
the
spooky
podcast.
season.
Let's end the podcast. It's your turn to end it.
It is my turn to end the podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to check us out or connect with us, then you can follow us on Instagram at shutupandwatchpod. We have an email shutupandwatchpod@gmail.com. We also have a letterboxd,
which you are
it's updated.
Bad at managing. What?
I updated it.
You updated it?
I did. I think. Wait, no, I did. I fully updated it.
You did?
I fully updated it. I was a little behind there. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I'm just
no one's liked any of the reviews, so I don't know if anyone's even looking at it, but it's updated. And make sure you leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah.
And a little, if you want to write something.
Maybe I'll read it out.
Let
me see if there's are any.
I feel like you need to start looking before.
Well, because I don't think there is any, and I don't think there's going to be any. I don't even know how to check the reviews. Oh, shit. We have one from October 9th. Oh, it's our good buddy Cassian.
Cassian!
Well, I said I would read it out, so I'm going to read it out.
Okay.
Tyson and Kristina have an unmatched comedic back and forth that makes every episode feel fresh. The podcast is zany, self-aware, and just the right amount of unhinged. Movie choices are unexpected yet intriguing, clearly stemming from two distinct and refined tastes. The host balanced this by bringing a grounded, everyman quality to the discussions that gets lost in most other podcasts. Watch for this one to blow up.
Oh my god, wait, Cassian!
That's so nice.
Cassian is our good friend who lived with us over the summer.
So that like half counts.
That was so nice. I didn't know he did that. Wow.
Wow.
I'm gonna go text him now and be like, Cassian, we read your review.
Or should we save it as like a little surprise?
He's gonna listen. Oh yeah, because
Cassian is one of our most loyal listeners.
He's one of our most loyal
he
listeners.
listens to most episodes, I think.
Listen, if you think you're a more
our
loyal
roommates
listener
don't even
than
listen to our
Cassian-
episodes. Our roommates are like, we're like, what's the last podcast episode we did? Evil Dead? That one was at the beginning.
It was like the first one we did. Anyway, okay, well, shout out Cassian. If you think you're a more loyal listener than him, go ahead and leave a review.
You guys gotta
Write
show him
something
up.
better than that, because that was pretty good. I'm impressed. I don't know if anyone's gonna top that.
I guess we'll see.
I guess we'll see.
I hope we'll see.
Wow, well, ending on a high note, but
Ending on a high note.
hey, Tyson, did you know that if you don't share this podcast with your friends, then someone's gonna spike your drink, and you're gonna have an experience quite similar to this movie.
That's like a genuine threat.
That's
like
that's a crime.
That's a horrible thing.
It's a crime.
Getting your drink spiked is a very real and terrible issue.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well. Yeah. That actually.
But like in a fun way, like this movie.
I meant no one's actually gonna spike your drink. I'm sorry. Like,
no, we. It's fine.
Just share it with your friends. I'm sorry. Don't cancel me.
No, I don't think anybody's gonna cancel you. I'm giving you a hard time.
Okay. Well, I think I'm done.
I'm done. Oh, we have a website.
No, I thought you were gonna forget.
No. We have a website at www.shutupandwatchpod or shutupandwatch.podbean. Yeah, no, it's shutupandwatchpod.podbean.com. It is bright yellow, bright pink, Comic Sans.
All right, we gotta wrap this up.
I should not
this outro has gotten too long.
It's gotten too long. I looked at our listening statistics.
No one wants to listen to the outro for this long.
No, everyone already clicks off.
Clicked away.
So it doesn't matter. We can just say whatever we want here.
Well, if you're here now, thanks.
Okay. Well.
Okay. Yeah, I have nothing to add.
I think we'll just end it.
Okay. See you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.